Won't you just come my way?
Come in.
Baby, won't you just take your time?
Okay.
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? I've been wanting to talk about older people dating younger. You know, everybody's adults, but older people, be it men or women, dating younger.
He's talking about date your age, date your age. I want to date my wage, so come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Now, the problem with this is I think that there's multiple arguments when we really get into the conversation about dating younger. For a woman, women don't want to date older men because they feel like there's a certain level of toxic narcissism that exists, right? With older men. Tracy Ellis Ross talked about this. It is a common conversation how these older men are turning into narcissists, or they are narcissists, right?
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
So it's a real conversation. So there's that aspect of it, right? Older men, you know, are a little bit more controlling and they want to dominate. You know, they want you to fit into the life that they have already figured out what they wanted, you know? When, you know, guys are younger, they're still figuring themselves out. But guys, when they hit a certain age, they're older, they're well established, or they just figured out what they want to do with their life, right? And they want a woman that matches that, and they want a woman that can easily fit into the life that he's already crafted for himself, you know? Now, when women are older, they have completely got to know themselves, you know, did the work to love themselves. They are a whole person. And because they are a whole person, they are not trying to fit into somebody's life or fit into what somebody else wants them to be to them in their life. You know, they don't want to do that whole serving my man thing. You know, they feel as though we should serve each other, but they are at a place to where they know who they are and they know what they want, and that takes precedent over what somebody else would like them to do. You know, older men want women that can fit into whatever they have going on, that can listen to them, and that is agreeable, and that can just go with their life, go with whatever they have set, right? Okay. Now here comes the problem. Older women do not want to date older men because they are not trying, they, you know, have grown to where they realize that that's not what they want. Some of them have already been married. Some of them have already, you know, had relationships to where that was stressful and it was weighing on them, you know. So they don't want to be in a relationship to where they're with somebody who makes them feel as though that they have to fit or conform into what that person wants them to be, whatever that is, right? I don't want to be what he want me to be. I don't want to get into that. I know who I am, you know. And I feel like let's just be together and love each other and accept each other. But a man wants you, once he hits a certain age, to be, you know, fit into his life and be the woman, the mother, the whatever he wants you to be, right? Older women, like, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want that. Been there, done that. I don't want that. I just want to enjoy when I hit a certain age. Now, those two things, they clash, right? Clash.
Older men be like, I don't want older women or women my age because they look this way. And I'll be like, but you're bald. You getting bald and you getting fat.
I mean, but those,
and you getting saggy just like.
But those
so
are exceptions.
Like, you don't want your match.
Those are exceptions.
And here's what here's something.
And
I
maybe
think
you
too.
bring life to them. You know.
I was about to say that. I ain't letting no old nigga suck the life out of me. No, I'm not doing it.
Why?
You want to hoe around in your 20s and your 30s. Now you're 50 and you single because you was hoeing around all around town, community dick. And now you want to get somebody that's younger because they less used. You're used. So you're used up and you want somebody less used up. No, go ahead and get your match. Y'all, people, they be out here, they be having several baby mothers, several kids, but want a girl with no kids. No, get your match.
I don't get it.
I get it. Get your match. Get your match.
You might be a match.
Get who's equal to you.
You might be a match. You can't determine.
I'm not no 50-year-old nigga match.
You can't
Let's
determine.
not.
Why?
And when I say those two things clash, like, but clash, I mean that older man can't want a woman that fits into their life, right? They meaning that I want to know, or I want to tell you what I need, and I want you to fit into that. Be it if you're a mother, be it if I'm the type of person that I travel, I want a woman that travels with me. Like, older men know what they want, right? And the, like, older women, I got my own life. I got the things that I want and things that I have, you know, accomplish and where I want to be, and that is most important to me. So what happens is those older women that are single and those older men that are single, they date younger. Now, the problem when an older man dates a younger girl, chances are her frontal lobe is not fully developed yet, meaning that she does not know who she is. She does not know what she wants. She doesn't, have her life completely figured out yet. She's still growing, and that changes, especially women from the age, I would say, from 25 to about 37. They're still trying to figure themselves out. Even younger, younger women are even more lost, But I think from 25 to about 37, women have to kind of find themselves and figure out what they want and go through the transitions in life to, hey, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. They don't know themselves. They're not mentally developed yet or at a place to where they are completely, set in what they need. So when these older men are looking at those women, these women are still in transition, right? These women are still trying to find themselves. So when they date an older man, while at the time it might be a good idea, later on when they fully get developed, they start feeling as though that man took advantage of them, that man used them, that man, made them be in a position to where they did not want to be. While it's okay right now, and I'm giving you that cooch right now, when I get older, I'm going to start seeing something wrong with that, and I'm going to be ashamed, And when I start thinking about shame and I start thinking about how certain things made me feel, I feel as though I was taken advantage of. You did this, you did that, and that was not okay with me. I feel as though those women tend to have regret once they, have completely developed and become a whole person and, did the work to love themselves and accept themselves and know what they want. And if they are single, even when they're in relationships, I think that they come to a place to where they have resentment, right?
Older men will sit there and play with you. They know that you're less experienced. That's why they're going for you. Don't go with he says I'm so mature for my age. Bull. That is total bull. He's just going for you because you have less experience, and it's going to be easy for him to manipulate you, and that's the truth. And I'm not saying all older guys are like that, but 8 out of 10 are like them. I'm not going to tell you the truth, and I don't know why, but I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to date an older guy. He's going to burn out all your youth, only to tell you in your late 20s, when you're ready to settle down and be married, he's not trying to get married because he's already been married. Don't date based off of age. Date based off of experience and stability. Because a man could be 45, 50 and not be stable. While a man is 20-something, he got it all going on.
Here's the difference now. Younger men, the older women that date younger men, I have said or noticed that those men have gained from those older women. We've talked about Bow Wow saying how he learned from Corinne Steffens how to wash clothes. Ray J said an older woman taught him, and at that age, it's crazy, but we'll talk about it, taught him how to wash himself, something his mother or his family, his father, whatever, his family was supposed to be teaching him. She taught him how to wash himself,
With an older woman back in the day when I was like 15, 14, I had a girl, she was like 34. I was like 14. How long is that? 14, 20. That's 19, 20 years. 20 years older. What the older woman made me realize was that I was dirty. And I needed to be clean. I need to be clean. Yeah. I need to be cleansed. I was dirty, right? Literally. Mm-hmm. Dirty-minded. Dirty in the field. And bodily dirty. So, my little 30-year-old, like she was, I think, 34. I'm going to say D. You know what I'm talking about? So, I would go over to her house. She had all white. And what happened was she told me to take a shower one day before I got in her bed. So, I took a shower. I took that, rubbed myself. I thought I did. I mean, everywhere. Shit, I get out the shower and I take the white towel and I dry myself off. And the towel, it's still dirty. Yeah. I mean, I probably bathed myself, drying off better than I did in the shower, right? Towel dirty than a motherfucker. So she started tripping. That ain't how it goes. So she put me in the tub in roses and bathed me every night until I got in the bed. And the tub was, it was unsittable. Nobody could sit in there after that. It was just a pool with a ring around it, really dirty. Yeah. So they really taught me how to be clean. And that's why I love an older woman.
With Corinne Steffens. Like, when you talk about a woman, you got to take out all the things that come to your mind when you say her name. If you really get a chance to know that woman. Am I tripping? No, you're not. I'm telling you, bro. She's different. And that's what I mean by different. Forget what she known for. Forget what she do, all that. It's the fact that she know how to stay in your life for the rest of your life without being in your life. Like, that's some different type of power. And I'm going to tell you how. It's something so simple. Probably one of the illest women I ever met in my life. And, like, the illest. She taught me how to wash clothes, bro. Something so simple. I did not know how to wash clothes. To this day, every time I can be with whoever. I don't care who I'm with. I don't care where I go. If I see a laundromat, Bounce, a Downy, the little bear, Corinne. I'm in Target. I see that. Laundry. Oh, shit, Corinne. I don't know. That woman is different. She's a woman This woman, like, you see how I'm looking? I'm trying to find it. Number one, she's smart as hell. She ain't no best bookseller. Right? I mean, and she really writing them shits. Like, ain't nobody writing for her. Like, she really writing, going through dry. Like, she's doing all that.
So while on one side, the younger women have regret and they're like, oh, you took advantage of me, you did this to me, you did that to me. The younger men are, finding comfort in dating an older woman. Oh, she's teaching me things that I've never learned before, allowing me to be more sharper on my skills and allowing me to find myself and figure out who I am as a man earlier, than I would have had I been left to my own devices or dating people my age, They're allowing me to mature earlier, right? That's kind of one piece that I'm seeing.
Older women are snatching up young dudes left and right. Older women know how to get you, man. Be careful, fellas. Be careful about these older women because they will run you down. They got a new breed of older women now. They real fast. I was rambling so much, she shushed me. I never been shushed before. Shh. First of all, calm down. Do you know why you're standing here and not your friends? No, ma'am, I do not. I had just came for him birthday. That's why I do that. First of all, I've been watching you and your friends for about 20 minutes, and your friends are very silly. So I choose you. So this is how it's gonna go. Whenever we get together, we will enjoy the time and space that we are together. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had just came for him birthday. He my friend. Now, I know I just met you. I don't know if you're married or in a relationship, whatever that is. We're both adults. Handle your situation. When I need you, I will call you. I will ring twice, hang up, that's me. Now, I am willing to fulfill any sexual fantasy that you may have within reason. I hurt my knee in 79. So I can't do everything. But I would like you to do certain things for me as well. I would like you to go certain places with me, business functions, social events, things of that nature. You would need a blue suit. Blue. Now, when we go out, it's not necessary for you to hold my hand. I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't need a man to have to hold my hand. What I do need you to understand is whenever you and I go out together, you do not have to talk. I will speak on your behalf. Now, are you mature enough at this point in your life to understand a very unique opportunity that I'm presenting to you and only to you tonight in this club? I had just came for him birthday.
But the bad part about that is eventually that young man is going to become a lot of these narcissistic men that older women or toxic masculinity that older women are not interested in. You're saying you don't want that because when men reach a certain age, they become that way to where they want a woman, they want to dominate their woman, they want to control their woman, they want their woman to fit into their life. Eventually, that young boy is going to transition into that. So what are you going to do as an older woman dating a younger man? Are you going to keep recycling the young boys out? Well, this boy, tends to get to that. He's starting to get to that place where he becomes that narcissistic older man that you don't like. Are you going to switch out of that? Or a bad downside is that are you, because the conversation about the groom, okay? The grooming, okay? I don't know if I can say that, but are you, doing what you don't like that older men do to younger women? Are you groom the younger man into being a certain type of way, or in both cases for the older man and the older woman, are you guys taking advantage of these people to where if they were developed, they would not would not agree to be in those type of situations or because of your own selfish reasons? Oh, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be single. I know I want to be with somebody at some point, but I need this. I want to have the freedom to do and, be the person that I want to be it a woman, or I want to have the freedom or the understanding to where I can put a woman into the place that I want her to be in my life. I want her to be a certain type of thing, a certain type of person to me.
A man that's old enough to be your father and is trying to be in your life, he is a destiny helper. That's all he has to offer is money and help your life. If he's not doing any of that, then he's just clearly manipulating you and wasting your time and holding you back from finding your potential husband. You don't got time to be playing with a man who balls is hanging to the floor. If he's not going to be helping your destiny, then he doesn't need to be in your life. Next caller. Hello.
And the other side to that is, a lot of younger women are feeling like these older men are taking them and robbing them of their youth, you know, and stunting their growth. I'm not experiencing these things because now I'm set. Like, my man is saying he don't want me to go out if I'm going out. He's saying he don't want me to hang out with certain people, to where I have to go through that, because growing pains happens with that. I experience certain things. I decide who I like, what I don't like, what kind of food I like, what kind of people I like. If I'm not in those type of environments, I won't know how to survive it. You know, so I have to have experiences. So then you start feeling like your growth is stunted because you dated somebody older and he prevented you from, you know, having these experiences, living these lives that you needed to in order to grow, you know.
Dating older women is one of the riskiest things you could do. A lot of young men think dating older women is a cheat code because there's some upside. She usually doesn't want you to have money or care if you have money because she probably makes more than you. If she's way older than you, she probably doesn't want kids from you because she already has some. So you think, wow, all she wants to do is have fun with me. And that's where she gets you. You see, y'all are going to have fun. Y'all are going to have great nights and good vibes. But understand this, my nigga, she is a veteran in the game. There is a reason why she is still single at her age. Let's just admit it, most people hate the street. But the women that are veterans and the ones that are the type to date you even if you're way younger, my nigga, they love the streets and they have years of manipulation and control tactics that they can employ on you at any second. Now, of course, you could finesse them if you have a good enough game plan. But my nigga, all I'm gonna say is stay safe and stay alert.
There's that aspect of it. And then we're not going to ignore the sexual pieces of it, allegedly now. That men, once they get older, their sex drive decreases and erectile dysfunction happens and different things with their bodies happen when older men get older, you know. Whereas if a older woman was to date a younger man, he's at his prime, he's knocking him out, boop, 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 knocking him out, boop, boop, boop. You know, he's at his sexual peak when he's younger, right? So that means as an older woman's sexual drive is increasing, that younger man is knocking it out. Y'all remember Ray? Remember Ray? When he was with that the older woman who was giving it to him and stuff like that, and he was like, damn, this is like a job because she don't get tired. So it's that, you know. So these older women are being with, you know, Johnny Feelgood, and he knocking that box, like knocking that box out the frame, okay, just bamming, right? And then a lot of older men are saying they want that with a younger woman. You know, her cooch is at its prime, you know. It ain't been ran through, ran down, beat up, whatever they say. You know, I'm not a man. But they say a bunch of stuff, and then it's like they want that at their prime. And while women, nobody shames a woman for saying, hey, he has the physical, you know, stamina to, you know, keep up with me. They kind of shame men for saying, hey, I want the cooch at its prime. So I understand that, you know, the double standards with that. But I think it's an interesting conversation to say, like, is it bad, you know? Are these young people being taken advantage of one way or another? Should an older man date younger? Should a younger man date older? Yeah. So it's a conversation to talk about, but I think that in both cases, in some way, younger people are being taken advantage of, you know, for men and women, you know. For men, it's like, man, you know, this woman, her frontal lobe, she doesn't know who she is. She's just agreeing to stuff that's later on she's going to regret. For younger men, it's like, yeah, I feel as though eventually he's going to grow into what you hate, you know, grow naturally unless you're grooming. And then even that's weird, you know.
You know what, older woman, y'all just might have to stop fucking with these young boys. Because I'm getting tired of hearing the bullshit out of their damn mouth. Yes, coming at me like, you know, older women, they'll take care of me. I'll take their whole damn check. Yeah, as long as I can put it down, they don't have no problem as long as I can put it down. I had to tell him, look, just because a woman is older, don't think she's stupid. Anything she doing for you is because she want to do. She ain't buying you no Benz and no Bentleys and all that, bro. Just if somebody pay a phone bill, that ain't shit for somebody older. And you think you got the juice and you giving it up? No. When the older woman finish wringing your young ass out and taking out all your damn juices, she gonna drop you to the curb. So don't be talking that shit about older women, baby, because they got it going on. If she choose to fuck for you because you young, you better be grateful. Because after she done with you, you going straight back where you supposed to go. Straight to hell. Ain't nobody marrying you and trying to spend that kind of time. Get over that, young man.
You don't want your man seeing you as mama, and you're giving mama energy, but you sleeping with him. It's just very, you know what I'm saying, weird. And the guys who want older women, most of the time they have mama issues, you know. So even that is like, yo, they're being taken advantage of from that standpoint. There's a lot to discuss here. Okay,
why men do not prefer to date older women. A lot of older women today are single or widows. Therefore, a lot of these women, like I said in the first video, they have boys, they have sons, brothers. So in this case, again, a older woman would rather have her son still be at home at 25, 30, 35 years old, 40, because she don't have a real man in her life to be her protector, her guider, her provider. She would rather take care of her son because he is the protector of his mother. When men step up, then little boys sit up.
But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know how y'all feel. I already told y'all how I feel. So yeah, let's get into this conversation. I love you guys. Bye-bye.
A number of reasons. A, you are young, so you look good because you have youth on your side. But B, most importantly and most scarily, because you are young and you lack knowledge, so you are easily manipulated. I do not care how much knowledge or experience you have as a woman. If the guy you are talking to is 5+ years older than you, you will be easy for him to manipulate. Now, I would say this stops being applicable from like 30+, because I think 30+, everybody is an adult. So a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old or 45-year-old, quite similar, even though there is still an age gap. So let's first understand that most men do not love being held accountable or being forced to be responsible. And what happens is, as women get older, they start to understand the game more, they start to understand men more, and they start to have higher expectation and tougher rules for men. Men do not like that. And men will say that they like younger girls because they look better, obviously youth, and, you know, the children thing. However, there are a lot of beautiful, fine, older ladies who still can have children. The only difference between those two women is that one of them has the experience of age on her side and has experienced things with men. And once you have experience, you have knowledge. You can spot some of these men coming. It is so much easier for a man to spill his lies, his tricks, his manipulation on a young girl because it's probably the first time she's ever coming across that type of situation. She probably does not know what to question him about. She's probably not sure what's going on. Maybe she can feel that something's off, but she doesn't really know what it is. Men also tend to be more financially advanced than the younger girls they are dating. So their finances, in terms of impressing a woman, can go a lot further with a younger lady. Older women, a lot of times, we've done all that YOLO. Not to say the YOLO's over, but, you know, we've experienced it. We're looking for the real money now. House money, you know, stocks and shares, 401k if you're in America, retirement, real serious money. That requires thought and planning and responsibility. Remember that thing that men don't love? So the best way to avoid it? Go for a woman that's not going to ask about it. Also, it would be remiss of me to fail to add that a lot of men like younger women because in the age range that they're in, they have scattered the market. Their reputation is known from NW1 to SE26. Those are postcodes if you're in America. And why I say the dating game is rigged is because a man can do all that, mess up the game, get a terrible reputation in his age range of women, and then just go down to the younger generation. And that's what a lot of men do. So I'm not saying don't date younger women, don't date older men. I'm not your mother. I just want to highlight the mindset behind a lot of men's desire to date younger women. Now, like I always say, there's always an exception to the rule. For best results, assume it's not you.